Hey, namaste,
Namaste.
namaste, Pandit
How are
Krishna
you?
Kripa ji. How's it going?
Nice to see you. We already recording? Yes.
Yeah. I usually just start right away.
Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me, and I feel really a privilege to be your podcast. Uh, let's see how can I do some seva to you, some service, and to the Sanatan Dharma.
Sure, yeah. I guess before we get into it, I wanted to know how you first met Rami Sivan Pandit ji. And how you guys got connected and stuff. That was very interesting to find out.
Yes. Well, actually, we are part of a group of different Sri Vaishnavas, mostly Western devotees. So we came in contact and we learned a lot through him about the Vedic samskaras. And he also wrote many prayogas, handbooks on how to perform the rituals. So we are very indebted to him, and I consider him one of my Shiksha gurus or instructing gurus. And of course, he's becoming a celebrity through his Quora posts, what I consider really relevant, and I consider him an innovator in the way he presents Sanatan Dharma, no, everybody.
Okay. And what about Rishi Radhakananda? How did
Well,
you?
I am a very close friend of Paramahansa Swami Vishwananda,
Oh,
his guru. So we first met in Spain, I
okay.
think like 3 years ago. Uh, Before I came to know him through his kirtans, very famous in YouTube.
Yeah, he's a
Finally,
YouTube.
I met him in person in Spain twice. And then I was invited to visit the ashram in Germany, Sri Nilaya. So also we have very close connection. And well, he speaks Portuguese, I speak Spanish. Of course, the via medium language is English, but Portuguese and Spanish is quite similar. So we have a very nice friendship. And I consider him also uh, innovator, and he's spreading very nicely in a non-sectarian way the art of kirtan, because some groups or so individuals use kirtan to do preaching, to do pravachan, but he can sing any kirtan from Vaishnavas, from Shaivas, from Gauriyas, from Sri Vaishnavas. So this is quite relevant that he put all his bhakti, all his heart whenever he sings.
Okay. All right. So, for listeners meeting you for the first time, right, today, who are you today, and what does Pandit Krishna Kripa Dasa represent in terms of your service?
Mhm. Well, I was born in Spain from an Indian Hindu father and a Spanish Catholic mother. So I have the good fortune of growing up in an interreligious family. So we learn from our father the Hindu tradition. I am the second of four brothers, all brothers, no sisters. And we learn also Christianity. So it was kind of fun because we used to celebrate Diwali and got presents, and we used to celebrate Christmas and got presents also. So being kids was really nice. Of course, once you reach a certain age, you maybe can have a crisis of identity. So when I was 14, right now I am almost 56. When I was 14, I was really sure on my mind and my heart that I want to be Hindu. Because Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma answer all my questions, all my doubts. So I was at the age of 15, I was initiated in Vaishnavism. And then with 17, I went in my first trip to India, and I fall in love with the culture. Uh, of course, I was aware of the culture, the spirituality, but seeing that in Bharat, in India was great for me. Uh, So I fall in love with India, and almost I've been in India 30 times. More than 6 years I spent in India, both south and north, learning, studying the scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita, the Vedanta, the Puranas, learning how to do all the samskaras, all the rituals, ceremonies. And this is my trip. Then I was involved in interfaith, interreligious dialogue. I'm also very interested on that. For the last 25 years, and I'm a member of different groups, international groups, that we do as a representative of Hinduism. So we do a lot of interfaith dialogue. Just recently, I was in Warsaw, in Poland, for a very interesting meeting. It was organized by the OSCE, Organization for Security in Europe. It was related to mistreatment and violence against women and girls, which is really interesting because now sometimes um, this violence, verbal, physical,
Yeah.
psychological, sometimes is put behind the religion. And sometimes the perpetrators are so-called religious persons. So it is really interesting that we get much knowledge, because being a pandit doesn't mean that you only do the rituals. Pandit means learned. If you are only a priest, it's a purohita. Purohita do all the rituals. But pandit means learning, and you also don't have to be only alone learning in the Hindu scripture. You have to learn also about other traditions, as well many related topics that nowadays are of interest to the people, being Hindu or not, like animal rights, LGBTQ rights, stop violence against women, so many things that we have to learn. And apart from my involvement in interreligious dialogue, I am the president of the Hindu Federation of Spain.
Nice.
We're doing the work of trying to get all together in the same boat, unity in diversity, or different temples, organizations. Uh, the number of Hindus in Spain is small, 75,000,
Yeah.
60,000 Indian origin, 15,000 Caucasian origin, or from some other countries. And still we are not officially recognized by the Spanish government. And you imagine the oldest religion in the world with more than 1 billion followers. Still, we are not recognized by the Spanish government, but they recognize other, let's say, with all respect, minor religions or recent religion with less than 100 years old. And one of the problem is the disunity, lack of unity amongst Hindus. Sometimes we put forward our communities, languages, differences, gurus, and this is the thing, no? That we're trying to put all together in the same boat. At least that everybody should row in the same direction. And of course, I do a lot of weddings in Spain. Spain becomes a destination wedding. So I do the marriage, Hindu marriage for many people coming from the UK, the USA, Australia, of course from all Europe, and the local community from Spain. So this is one of my main services that we can talk later on.
Yeah, no. So there's a cool synchronicity. Your name is Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos, right? And that my roommate, second year in college at Rutgers. My roommate, his name was Juan Carlos Silva. He was from Ecuador, and so that was just a cool synchronicity that you also have the same
Yes,
name.
this is what my parents gave me the name Juan Carlos. In English is John Charles, because on those days when I was born, Spain was under a dictatorship, so they didn't allow any Hindu names or non-Spanish name. And then Krishna Kripa, a beautiful name, was given to me by my guru. And Pandit, of course, I was recognized after so many years with that title. And so you can call me as you wish. Like everybody call me Panditji or whatever you feel is appropriate for you. Doesn't matter.
So how did he come up with the name? Your guru is Rami Sivanji, correct? He was the one that gave you the name.
Well, he's one of my guru, but he's not my Disha guru. The one who gave me the initiation, the one who gave me my initiation, because I got initiated in two traditions, and it is permitted in the Sanatan Dharma, because sometimes they say, oh, you can have only one guru, and this is not true. You can have as many gurus as you want, and you can take Diksha from different gurus with only one condition, that they teach differently. That means I can have a Vaishnava guru, and also I can take initiation from a Advaitin guru, because his teaching is something completely opposed. So first I took the initiation in the Gauriya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, who was a Bengali great devotee. He passed away, unfortunately, during the COVID. And then I took the initiation also in the Sri Sampradaya by Sri Narasingha Swami from the holy city of Sri Rangam. They gave me another name, Krishna Machari Ramanuja Dasan, who is a very South Indian name, but everybody knows me by Krishna Kripa Das, means the servant of Lord Krishna's mercy. And of course, I have a lot of shiksha, means instructing gurus. Maybe they never gave me a mantra or an initiation, esoteric initiation, but I learned from there. And even in the Bhagavad Purana, there is mention of 35 different gurus. So we can learn from everybody who gives you some light in a specific topic. Why we have to reject them? We should have an open mind, and whatever knowledge is coming that is not contrary or is not against what you already know, what you have to incorporate in your life.
No, I definitely can. I can connect with you on that, because I grew up and was raised in the Baptist Swaminarayan tradition. So Pramukh Swami Maharaj, Mahan Swami Maharaj are my guru, but also my guru is Puja Swami Tadatmanandaji of Arsha Bodha Center. His guru was Puja Dayanandaji Saraswati, and his guru was Chinmayananda from the Chinmaya mission and such. So I also have two gurus, right? In the Swaminarayan, there's no initiation mantra; it's just Swaminarayan. And so for my lineage, by my guru Puja Swami Tadatmanandaji, we don't really have any actual mantras, but the initiation mantra that he got from his guru was Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshina Murteye Mahyam Medam Pragnam Prayacha Swaha. So that's invoking Lord Dakshina Murti, that he blesses you with a mind and body that is capable of receiving the highest teachings of Advaita Vedanta, of Tattvamasi, right? And so, yeah.
And it is not a secret mantra, because you are openly saying it's not restricted to initiates only.
No, correct.
It's like Om Namo Narayanaya was given, before was a Rahasya secret mantra, but then Sri Ramanujacharya, he openly gave to everybody, because he says something is good, we must share with everybody. We cannot keep a secret.
So so when you were younger, you said you had few doubts, and Hinduism answered all those doubts for you. So what were some of those doubts that you had when you were young?
Well, doubts in the sense, what happened at the time of death, because Christianity, it was my other roots, the other side, my mom. They teach that you will die and you have to wait for the final day, Judgment Day, for the resurrection. But my mind was, what will happen with the body if they bury for so many years? And Sanatan Dharma gave me what I consider is the right answer for me, that even if you cremate the body, or you bury the body, what is eternal is the soul, that the soul will transmigrate to another existence. And that existence, next destination will be according to your karma, to your past actions. So that makes a lot of sense for me. And also the conception, the image of God. Sometimes the Abrahamic religions teach that God is like vengeful. He do revenge. He chastise you. But in Sanatan Dharma, I learned that we love. We are not God fearing. We are God loving. And finally, whatever we earn, positive or negative, is not God's fault. Is our own karma, because Krishna say, I created this material energy who is separated from me. So finally, he's not doing anything against us. Is we ourselves are our own architectures of our destiny. So as we reap, as we sow, we reap. So, and so many other things. And especially, I need uh, the personification of God, God as a person, God with a form, saguna. Uh, because for me, other religions were like God is an energy, God doesn't have an image. Is like nirakar, nirguna, but I am more attached to a particular form. Of course, I understand that God is also supreme Brahman, and the Brahman is a imageless or formless, but at the same time, Bhagavan can manifest in different ways. As Paramatma within our heart, he manifests as Bhagavan, Supreme Personality, as a Brahman. All have the same quality, and depend on your own choice that you will reach some different goal. It's like Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma is the only religion in the world that I know that you can choose your own Ishtadevata. You can choose your own form of God. Or if you don't want to have any form of God, still you are a Sanatani.
When I asked my guru, who is your Ishta Devata, he said, Vinay. So my guru Puja Swami Tadamanandaji, he said, Vinay, I offer my devotion to Sri Krishna, but I meditate solely on Brahman alone. So that was very interesting. So I kind of copy my guru, and so like I grew up with Lord Shiva as being my Ishta Devata. And like even now, if I'm ever in danger or anything like anxiety, Om Namah Shivaya just it comes out just naturally, right? But
Okay.
I've switched to Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya because it's like me connecting to my guru in that way, and just works for me. So my next question is, you talked about your Ishtadevata, right? So who is your Ishtadevata, and why and how do you connect with him?
Okay. As a Sri Vaishnava, we believe that the supreme personality of Godhead is Sriman Narayana, Lord Vishnu. Okay. But then everybody will have a specific connection with one of his avatars. So my main Ishtadevata is Sri Krishna, Krishna Bhagavan, the one who spoke the Bhagavad Gita and who plays also. Yes. Of course, then I have a specific devotion also to Lord Narasingha, half man, half lion incarnation. But as Sri Vaishnavas, we recognize that Krishna is coming from Narayana. But Krishna is Punar avatar, meaning he's a complete avatar, because not all the avatar of Sriman Narayan have all the powers. But there is no difference between Sriman Narayana and Krishna. But we recognize that Krishna is coming from Narayana. And as you know, there are different rasas or tests or different ways to interact with God. You can interact in awe and reverence as Hanumanji, as a das. Uh, the highest is Madhurya Ras. You can interact with him as a gopi, as a lover. And Vatsalya Ras, you can interact with God as your own child, like, Devaki and Vasudev, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda. So my rasa, my relationship with Sri Krishna is a mixture of pakya, friendship, dasa, servitorship, and at the same time a parental love. Because when we take care of the murti, we are doing also as not only servant, but we are taking care of him as also our kid, no, our small child in the house or in the temple. So this is the relationship, and in my more than 40 years, 4 decades, been a Vaishnava devotee. I have a lot of realizations. Visited many temples in India, uh, outside of India, in the UK, in the USA, and this is my, and of course the Bhagavad Gita have a prominent role in my life, because it has been my guide during all these years. Whenever I have a doubt, a problem, I open the Bhagavad Gita, and any verse will give me solace, will give me some knowledge.
So, your siblings, right? Did they end up in? What do they follow? Or like, how did they all also become Sanatis, or are they of the Abrahamic?
We are four brothers. Two we became Hindus, and
Okay.
two are Christians.
Okay.
So now what we experience with our parents nowadays, we also doing that. For Diwali, they come to my home. For Christmas, I go to their home, and we celebrate. And we put on top of that that we are brothers, because we are born from the same parents. Uh, but even one of my brother who is a Christian, when he got married, he did two kind of weddings: the Catholic wedding and the Hindu wedding that I did for him. So we
Oh,
have a good relationship, and sometimes we tease each other, because sometimes they want to make fun or we want to make fun, but we are always very, very respectful.
wait, do you have kids or no? Or
Yes, I have one son who is now Govinda, his name. He is now 20 years old. He's going to university, he's studying computer engineering, and he's been born in a religious, pious, spiritual family. So he's vegetarian by birth. He wear the Jagyupavita, the Janyo, and he chant his mantras and everything. But still, I always advise him to have a material, or, secular education, and many mantras. He sometimes assists me in the rituals, but also I want to that he has a balance between his material and spiritual life.
okay, wow. Maybe one day I can interview him one day.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So the next question, that what I find is interesting, that you said your mother is Spanish and your father is Indian. So how did they meet? Like, I was just kind of a bit curious on like how that all happened.
This is quite interesting because my father was born in Hyderabad, Sindh before the partition. Nowadays it's Pakistan. He was
Okay.
Sindhi. So after 47, he was only 9 years old. They shifted to nowadays India, and they were settled in Gandhidham in Gujarat. And at the age of 20, uh, his uncle, who was already living in Spain, called him to work in Spain. So he took a ferry, a ship for 22 days from Mumbai till Spain. On those days, there were no flights, available commercial flights. So, and he started working in Spain, learning the language and everything. He came in 1958. And in the next door shop, my mom worked with a tailor, assistant tailor. So my mom used to go into my dad's shop to ask for change, currency. Do you have a change? So like this, they fall in love. I'm talking about the 60s, mid 60s. It was in Spain was a big scandal. Like a Catholic, girl, Caucasian girl is fall in love with the dark skinned Hindu. Well, but love can cross all the boundaries and bridges. Finally, they got married. Of course, in those days in Spain, the only way of marriage was through the church. So when they went to meet the priest insisted that my father must convert to Christianity to get married. So my father says, see, I'm not going to convert. My wife, she is not going to convert. We all remain in our own religions. So the priest trying to demoralize my dad or put in more obstacles, say, okay, so now we have to write to the Pope to ask permission for this marriage to take place into the church. So they wrote to the Pope. In those days was Paul the Sixth, and after 1 month or so, he replied allowing the marriage.
Hmm.
So they got married in the church,
Wonderful.
and of course, and he always taught us Sanatan Dharma according to his own capacity, and my mom Christianity, and then they say, okay, now once you have some maturity, you choose which path you want to follow. No? So this helped me a lot to many years later go into interfaith dialogue, and also many of the weddings that I do are intermarriage, interreligious marriage. Maybe the bride is Hindu and the groom is Christian or some other religion, or sometimes is the groom is the Hindu and the bride. This year I did first time in history in Spain, first the Hindu Jewish wedding. It was a joint wedding with a rabbi also. The rabbi and me were present, and the bride is Jewish and the groom is a Hindu. So you can understand these weddings and how you have to act preserving the authenticity and tradition, but at the same time incorporating, accommodating the other guests, the other family who are not Hindus.
Have you ever heard of the Baps Swaminarayan tradition or no?
Yeah. I'm very familiar to them. I visit the temple in Nisden in the UK, and I
So,
have few friends who are Gujaratis who
mhm.
are followers of Swami Narayan. Even I have the good fortune of having the darshan from a distance of Pramukh Swami and also Mahanta Swami. And I visited other temples of Swami Narayan, Akshardhan in Delhi, and another small temple in Belgium also they have. So I have a lot of relationship with Swami Narayan. Even I have few books like the
Even like
Vachanamrit. Yeah,
like in my background, that's Pramukh Swami
yeah.
Maharaj. Yeah, I
I
grew up.
have the actually they presented me with a book. He is with Abdul Kalam
Yeah, yeah.
in the cover, and they presented me with the Vachanamrit, Shiksha Patri. So I am quite familiar. Uh, with something I disagree, of course, because we cannot agree in everything. But I am very respectful. They do a lot of social work. They do a lot of devotion and making these big temples outside India. So I all my respect for them.
My question is, so to me, right, is that you grew up Catholic and Hindu, right?
Yeah.
And for me, when someone asks, right, like I describe it as like, to me, it's like Hindu Catholicism, right? Would you say it's kind of, would you kind of also agree or no?
Uh, well, I don't I consider myself a Hindu, Pakka
No,
Hindu,
I
but
mean, it reminds me of, no, I meant the Bap Swaminarayan, right? It
okay,
reminds, so if Hinduism and Catholicism were merged, it
yes,
reminds, it kind of feels like a Bap Swaminarayan is like a mixture of, I would call it Hindu Catholicism. I don't know.
yes. In one sense, yes, because uh, even they worship Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan, and Shiv Parvati and everything. But finally, in top is Purushottam Swami, no, is the Sriman
Swami.
Narayan, no, that they consider. So yeah, in one sense, the big temples I visited the Akshardhan, and it was amazing. The architectures, the way they treat guests is a different system. Is the I think they created their own sampradaya, what
Yeah.
is really nice, and it is completely right and bona fide to create your own sampradaya, your own scripture, your own guru parampara. Um, all my respect to them, all the great work they're doing. Um, but at the same time, this is my feeling. Maybe I am the one who is wrong. I don't know.
So okay, the next question is that you have officiated many Hindu weddings in Spain for couples from all over the world. What's the main thing modern couples misunderstand about Hindu marriage rituals?
Well, I officiated in the last 3 decades more than 400 weddings.
Okay.
Um, and from many different countries, many backgrounds. I don't discriminate in the sense I do weddings for Punjabis, Gujaratis, Tamils, any kind of Hindu. I don't discriminate based on regional language or ethnicity or whatever. Uh, there is love or misunderstanding, and the many misunderstanding is coming from their own parents, because their own parents, especially those who live in the West, they did never have the time to assimilate. So the transmission of the ritual, the transmission of the culture is wrong, have some gaps.
Yeah.
So some of the problems is regarding the time. Whenever I have a meeting, we always have an appointment, a video call with the people from the particular country before they come to Spain. The first question they ask me is how long is going to last the wedding. No, so when I say it's only 1 hour, they feel relief. You can see they say, we were thinking about 3 hours wedding that we saw in India. No, uh, another thing maybe is the misunderstanding is regarding the Kanyadam. Kanya, as you know, Kanyadam means giving your daughter in charity, and there is a lack of good explanations. And sometimes the bride will say, I don't want to do the Kanyadam because I don't consider myself as a good an item that my parents are giving away. So I had to explain, no, it is a symbolic ritual that your parents are giving or entrusting you to your to the groom and his family, but your bond is eternal. It is not like sometimes we see in the movies or in India still happen in the villages that once she get married, she loses all the contact with his relative, and now she become part of a new family. Even they change their name, their surname, and everything. So I had to explain that, and then they will say, okay, now I agree, now I understand. And then another misunderstanding is the feras, the production and walking around the fire. The people will think it's seven. They will say, oh, we want to do satferas. It's not satfera, it's karferas, four times. We do for dharma, artha, kama, and moksha.
Oh, yeah.
Dharma, religious ethical duties; for artha, economical development; kama, enjoyment, love; and finally to moksha. This is the four feras. But in Bollywood, they show many years ago, 50, 60 years ago, movies, they show the actors playing as a couple 7 times around the fire. So still now is the consciousness of the people. And then what we do 7 times is the Saptapadi. Saptapadi means the couple walks together, takes together 7 steps. And each step they say a vow, they recite a vow, a vachan, a promise that we are going to be together for health, that we are going to be together for this, so and so. So I had to explain all these things. And of course, there is all variety of people, personalities. You can see those who really interesting in the religious part of the ceremony, that they say, okay, we want to get married in front of God, even if we are in Spain, or the bride of the groom is non-Hindu. You can see people say, okay, we want to get married in the Hindu way just to show our lengas and the turban, the pagri, and all the jewelry and everything. And you will see people, couples, who they say, okay, we want just to please our parents, but we hardly have any interest. So please, jaldi kijiye, go fast. So you have a love of many different couples. And so what I'm trying to do, that the wedding is short, according to the Hindu standards, 1 hour, maximum 1 hour and 15 minutes, if they incorporate any other rituals. I give the couple a wedding template with all the steps, and even make a mark. Those you can skip if you want to do it. This is not compulsory. So they follow that, and then we have the script. Of course, the prayers, mantras are all in Sanskrit with English explanations. Sometimes if one of the couple is Spanish, I do the Spanish also. So everybody understand, and we keep a flow from the beginning till the end. And why other Hindu weddings, they take 3 hours? It depends on the Pandit. Many rituals I do before the couple arrive into the mandap. For example, when we do the Kalash Stapana, establishing the pot with the coconut, I do before they come. So we save a lot of time, because in front of them we do the Ganesha Puja. We start with the Ganesha Puja, the Varamala, all these things. I try to advise the couple to don't involve many people during the rituals. We need the bride's brother to hand her the rice, the puff rice, to put into the fire. Okay, do only with one brother, or if you have two, but sometimes 5 people want to do it. Or at the end, the Gujaratis, for instance, they do, one lady, married lady, will come, will whisper in the bride's ear, Akhanda So Bhagavati Baba. So rather than 7 ladies will come, so it will take more time, And another thing that happen is that when we are doing the wedding and everything is going smoothly, maybe some people who are seated with the guests, maybe it's the cha-cha, chachi, mama, mami, whoever is relative, they will have a voice, oh, we want to do like this. Oh, when I got married 50 years ago, I did like this. So I had to make them quiet. Please, Betty, chup kijiye, because yes, because otherwise it's an interference. Also happened with the photographers, I had to educate them. You can be the most renowned photographer in the world, but if you are not familiar with a Hindu wedding, you can do very bad work. So I had to tell them, see, please don't come with the shoes into the mandap, don't interfere within the ceremony, things like that.
So now I'm gonna bring in certain modern things. Have you done like homosexual or transgender weddings and how does that go about?
Yes. This year I did, and I'm very proud of that. I never try to hide. I did this year in Spain. I did the first Hindu gay wedding in Spain, and there was a couple from Chicago who came to Spain. One of them was Gujarati, and the other was American. So we did a beautiful wedding, and I asked permission from my acharyas, from my teachers. They give me, especially Pandit Rami Sivan was very excited, and he gave me his full blessings. Actually,
Wait,
the
were they from anyone from New Jersey? I might like.
I don't know if they're. I think they're from Chicago. I don't.
Oh, okay. Because there's someone that I think I know that was there's a Indian man and a white guy, right? And I remember seeing them at a engagement recently. And so I don't know why I thought maybe it could be that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Maybe we don't say any names, but maybe they were the same couple. But I think they're from Chicago, Illinois. In any case, the Prayoga, the handbook that we use for same-sex marriage, was created by Pandit Rami Sivan, based on Mayana, So we did a beautiful wedding. I really enjoyed doing the wedding. They were very well behaved, very cooperative. Both families, American and the Hindu family, were very appreciative. And yes, when I made the public, of course, some people criticized me, even some Indian Hindus Pandits. They criticized me. Many people were in favor. But since we are a decentralized religion, we don't have a head. So if we have the permission, the blessing from our acharyas, we don't care what others say. It's good for them or not. I think that we should attend all kind of couples. We don't have to discourage anybody for following their own religion. What happened in the past? Many requests came to me. I think it was not clear that I have the permission. So I say, see, I am in favor, uh, but I cannot do it if I don't have the blessings of my gurus. And what happened in other countries? The couple, maybe they wanted to got married in the Hindu way. They were rejected. They converted into Protestant Christians. Even some of them, they were all discouraged from Hinduism. They had nothing to do with Hinduism. And if we read our scripture and we see our history as Hindus, Hinduism is I think, more favorable and recognized a third gender. There is a nature when some person of the same sex fall in love. And you can see in Khajuraho temples, who are more than 1,000 years old, there are scenes of gay couples. And if you read the Mahabharata, Shikandi, he is gay. He is the only one who can kill Bhishma Pitamaha, And there are many characters. Even Lord Shri Ram, he did a ceremony with Sugriva as a commitment, not as a couple, but as a commitment, as a friend. So the Hindu way, Hindu gay wedding, we call Sambandha Karma, means blessing of the union. We cannot call Vivaha. Vivaha means heterosexual wedding. Vivaha Samskara. Samskara is a rite of passage. We cannot call a rite of passage or Vivaha, but we call Sambandha Karma. Blessing of the union of two individuals, two souls, two women or two men. Yes.
My mind was going on with it was thinking. So what if there's a sibling, right? And there's two sisters, and then one of the sister becomes a guy, and then they do Raksha Bandhan, right? Where they do the Rakhi,
Yeah.
right? So then would they actually allow that, or I don't know? My mind was just going there.
Well, what is quite interesting about this prayoga is because we have the challenge that if we are going to perform a wedding for a same sex couple,
Mm-hmm.
if we follow the traditional handbook, you have to ask them who is the man and who is the woman, no? Or if there are two girls, who is the woman and who is the man? But in this sense, everything is created in a way that there is no mention to them. They will wear the garland, they will do the Varamala, and they will come together. There is no barat that the groom is coming first and then the bride. So both of them, they will come together and they will recite the vows together. And rather than wearing the Mangal Sutra and everything, they will exchange rings like in the Christian weddings. So there are many ways to adapt to the situation.
So what are certain differences between like a Gujarati or Tamil, Telugu, Punjabi, and certain differences in the rituals and that? And if you can go into
Yes,
that.
the sequence may be vary, the sequence of the ceremony, but most of the rituals are the same. For instance, Tamils, South Indian, Tamils, Telugu, I did for people from Karnataka also. They tie the Mangal Sutra at the beginning. And in North Indian wedding, Gujarati, Punjabi, Sindhi, they do at the end. Or things like that. They do the Saptapadi at the beginning, sometime at the end. Of course, you have to learn both ways. And then you also have to be ready to incorporate family traditions that are not in any handbook, but that particular family do something because the great grandmother did, and they want to follow. So I always ask them, is there any particular tradition pertaining to your family or your city or whatever? So,
What is like some so something that you talk about like outside like is in their ancestry? What's like the craziest type of thing that has happened, like a request for like something that you have never even like heard? Have you any interesting ones?
well, yes, one couple actually from New York, they contacted me uh, that they want me to do their wedding. So I send the wedding template, and the bride say, I don't want to do the saptapadi, means doing the 7 steps with the 7 vows. So I say, see, this according to the Hindu marriage law, this is doing this ritual is when you are actually married. If you don't do this ritual, how we can have a Hindu wedding? And she was very stubborn. I sent quotes from the scriptures, and she said, no, I don't want to do that. So I told her very respectfully, see, it's better you get married in the court, because what you want to do a Hindu wedding without the main ritual. And the funny thing, finally, we never have an agreement, but then I came to know that another fellow priest accepted that just for the sake of money. So is how can you do a wedding with a Hindu wedding without the main ingredient? And of course, I don't do any. I am totally against caste system, so I don't allow that there is any. When the people start saying, "See, in our caste we do that," or the bride is from a higher caste and the groom is from, I say, "See, there is no caste. We have a varnashram dharma, and it is as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnyam Mayashristam Guna Karma." Okay, is this a go regarding guna, qualities, and karma, your action? It is not by jama, by birth. Nobody is higher or lower by birth. It is according to your action. So I don't. I will say this. I don't want to do this. Then, of course, there are all another few other uh, rituals that I don't agree to do it, or maybe I will consider it's not appropriate to do it in the West. But mostly, most of the couple, they want something nice, smoothly, short in terms of a Hindu wedding. Maybe they want to incorporate few things just to please the parents or maybe the grandparents.
Okay. Um. So like what I wanted to so what I was trying to get at a bit earlier is that you know how there's some things that certain things that a special family has a special ritual, right? That is not really part of the normal Hindu thing, right? So what has been like a unique thing that has been like you found very interesting that you had incorporated?
Yeah, there are few different things. For instance, Sindhis at the end of the wedding, they do a ritual called Dattar, that they exchange salt. The bride and the groom, and she has to exchange handfuls of salt with all the relative. That means that she will be like salt. The one you put into the food, you can see it, but you can taste. So that means she will be fully integrated in the family. Um, of course, the Gujaratis, as I say, they do the Akhanda Sabhagavati, the blessings of the bride. Uh, Tamils, they sit the couple in a swing, and they put rice, puff rice into their heads. All these things is really nice to incorporate when they request you. Um, but for instance, when we do like sometimes the pre-wedding rituals, like the Gujaratis, they do the mandavo, or Shagun, but the Punjabis or the Sindhis, they do the Ghari Puja. Basically, is the Ganesha Puja, a Navagraha Puja, nine planets Puja. Um, Sometimes In India, of course, or if you are in the UK where there are many priests available, the girl and the boy, they will do in a separate way. But if they're coming to Spain and there is only one priest, we are 4 or 5 in Spain, but means if they hire me, I have to do for both of them. So sometimes some families say, "Oh, we don't want to do with the other family because we are Lucky Valo and they're Lucky Vala," all these things. So I have to make peace of them. See, we should do it together. Or sometimes when one of the member of the couple is not Hindu, suppose the groom is a British Christian, and then the Hindu family will say, "Oh, he's not Hindu. There is no need for him to do this ceremony." So I will explain to them, please invite him, because if we are blessing the bride, what there is no harm if we bless also the groom, even he's not a Hindu. At least we can force him, but it is not nice to also separate him from the tradition. We want to welcome people into the Sanatan Dharma. We don't want to keep people outside of Sanatan Dharma. So I always try to advise the families to please uh, be accommodated and integrate the other family, even if they are not Hindus. And for next year, I have another interesting first time for me. It will be both of them are Indian, but the groom is a Hindu and the bride is Muslim. So it will be another challenge for me in the sense that, of course, she will be willing to do all the rituals, but I don't know about her parents and everything. So it is all interesting for me, and I learned a lot in spite of been doing this for the last 30 years.
Okay. Um, and for your son, when your son gets married, how do you, which tradition and that, which are you going to follow if he does get married or so?
Well, he's growing up as a Hindu, so hopefully, let's see if I'm still alive. I will do the Hindu ceremony, and if he gets married with a person from another religion, of course, we also celebrate their side religion. He's Christian or another religion. We live in Ceuta. Ceuta is a Spanish city in the north of Africa. We are separated from the mainland by 30 kilometers of sea, the Stretch of Gibraltar. In 20 square kilometers, we live Hindus, Muslims, Christians, and Jewish. So just going to the high school, going to university, he's meeting people from all kind of religions. So if he fell in love, I will accept that, no? As happened in my parents. So uh, I, I think it's good to promote interfaith marriage, at least until none of them lose their identities. If a person gets married and he or he wants to become Hindu, we have a ritual for that. We have the Namakarana Samskar. We'll give a Hindu name. We'll give a mantra. But if she wants to remain or he wants to remain in his own religion, there's no problem at all. Hindus, I think we are the only ones that we can coexist and peacefully live with people from all other religions. And I saw that in my own house with my parents.
Did you yourself marry an Indian person, a Hindu, or?
Yes, yes. It was an Indian person.
Okay,
Yes,
nice.
yes,
Um,
Hindu.
so now, is there nowadays? I've been hearing in the news like people have so on TikTok. Well, I left the TikTok scene, but there was a time where I was on TikTok, and there's people that are going around like, there's different, Muslims are advocating we are the right, you should leave your religion and that, and then now there's a whole community on TikTok where there's these Hindutva people are saying Hinduism is the best or Hinduism is the right way, and they're going around, and I've seen these lives and that, and they're going around attacking and demoralizing other things, right? So my guru talks about how it's important that as Hindus we do stick up for, like imagine your best friend being abused, you would want to protect, defend your best friend, right? But it gets tricky because you also don't want to least harm, right? Ahimsa paradharma. So what do you see, like do you see like a way, how do we should we go around defending ourselves? And also, is there racism, I mean not racism, sorry, but like anti Hindu things going on in Europe? Is there a rise on that, or?
Yes, of course. Unfortunately, especially in those countries who have a big Hindu population, like the United Kingdom or the Netherlands, there is a race against Hinduism. In particularly in my country, in Spain, more than racism or anti-Hindu is like the people don't have much knowledge about Sanatan Dharma. So this is one of my seva services to give the knowledge to the people of what is actually Hinduism. I just wrote a book, it's in the printer now. It's called Hinduism in Perspective, Dialogue with World Religions. So it's a comparative study of Hinduism with 13 other world religions. What we have in common and what differences we have, because we can't pretend there is no differences. Okay, there are theological differences and everything. We have to acknowledge that, but we have to see what we have in common. According to academic study, we have in common all religions 63% and 37% differences. We concentrate more, we put more input into the differences rather than in the what we have in common. So in Spain, we give a lot of information to the people, and of course, the society now is so polarized that even in Spain, when there is fighting, echoes of war in between India and Pakistan, the Pakistanis hate us or blame us. What at least myself, I have nothing to do with the Indian government of anything, you know. So yes, we should defend Hinduism. We should protest, but always in a peaceful way, so we don't assimilate, we don't use tactics done by other groups. We had to, Krishna, he told Arjuna, no, arise and fight. So we should fight with the sword of knowledge, not with the actual swords. Yes, and sometimes those so-called minority religions in the West, like Hinduism, in spite of being 1 billion, in Spain we are only 75,000. And there is other groups like Jewish who are only in Spain 20,000, or other minor groups. We also have to cooperate among each other to protect each other. Whatever is good for us should be good for them. So when there is some prohibition, it will affect all of us. I am not much in favor. See, we should defend Sanatan Dharma, but at the same time, we always have to be very respectful with the local laws.
Yeah.
And where we live. You live in America, finally, nationality, you are an American. I am a Spanish, I was born in Spain. India, for me, is the holy motherland. Our tirthas are there, our holy places are there, our gurus are coming from India. But finally, we have to do our punya, our karma in our respective countries. So we should respect the law, we should respect the religion of the majority of the people, and of course they should respect us, but we can impose that, you know, India is the best and Vande Mataram, all these things, when we are not living in India. Sometimes I see two ultra patriotic Indians, I say, okay, but you are not living in India, so how much love you have for your own country, but finally you leave your country looking for a better way of life. At least be grateful to the country who accepted you. See, in Sanatan Dharma, we have all kinds of rituals to do the atonement, the expiation of our sins. If you do go hatya, you kill a cow, you can do a ritual, a contract against that. If you kill a Brahmana hatya, also there is a ritual. But we don't have ritual for Prittabhaga. Prittabhaga means ungrateful. If you are ungrateful, there is no cure for that. So we should be always very grateful to the countries who welcome us, It's like my father, he came with 20 years and he made a livelihood in Spain. When my father passed away, we put some of many of his ashes in Spain in the sea, and I took few remnants to Varanasi, to Banaras, okay, and we put there. But my dad was always very grateful to Spain, and he told me if we leave our country, it's because we were in need, you know. Otherwise, but we also have to be grateful. We should never forget our origins, our roots, but at the same time we have to be grateful. And I really appreciate the Jewish people when they do their prayers in the synagogue. They always pray for the hate of the state of the country that allow them to be there. If they are in Spain, they will say in the prayers, we pray for the king of Spain. If they are in England, they will say, we pray for the king of England. So in one sense, we Hindus, I am second generation born in Spain, but those who are coming from India, they should also pray and say thank you for meeting us. And also Hindutva having a wrong, is taking a wrong turn in India. Because even myself, being a Pandit, a Purohit, with hundreds of people putting their trust on me, there are certain temples that I am not allowed to enter because I am fair-skinned, like Puri, Jagannath Puri. And there are a few temples. They say, oh no, you are Gora, you cannot come. No, but I am Hindu. No, no. Hindu means Indians. So we have to put in our brains that being Hindu, you can be from any nationality, any race. Sanatani means eternal. We are following the eternal dharma. It's not restricted only to India, to Bharata. And even I remember it was before COVID, there was a big sadhu sangha in Varanasi. And one of the sadhus say that the future of Hinduism is in the West because many Hindus will take birth in the West. You know? So we also have to change our mental attitude towards those who are not born in an Indian body.
If I were to ask you, like, do you have a daily practice? And if so, what is your practice on a daily
Yes,
basis?
I have a sadhana. We call it sadhana. So I do a puja to my murtis at home. I worship the murti of Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan, and Lakshmi Narsinga. I also have the Shalagram Shilas. Do you know what is the Shalagram Shilas? The forms of black stones of the Lord. So I do the puja with the, let's say, the five material elements, offering fire, water, earth, everything that we do. Pancha Sopachara. Then I do a lot of japa, chanting with my beads, with my mala. We chant the mantra Om Namo Narayanaya, which is the main mantra for Sri Vaishnavas. Then we have another mantra. We have also Vishnu Gayatri, we chant the Vishnu Gayatri and other mantras. Then I also dedicate some time to read the scriptures, especially Bhagavad Gita, and also some other stotras. This is what I do. And then in a daily basis, I have few calls to attend for people who wants to get married. I'm also doing a lot of translation into Spanish. I already completed the Bhagavad Gita with the commentary of Ramanuja Acharya, who is not at my level before in Spain. I have my YouTube channel, mostly in Spanish because it is my mother tongue. So we're always busy. And of course, they invite me for many interreligious gatherings as a representative of Hinduism because I'm very straightforward at the same time, and I'm very polite and very inclusive. I like to hear from them, learn from them. I like to show my cosmovision, my vision from the Sanatan Dharma. But there is also some Hindu groups that they confess, they told me that, see, we go to these religions gatherings, but our aim is to convert them into Hinduism. So can you imagine? You are going to an interreligious dialogue. It's not a debate. You're not going to debate. You're going to dialogue. You're going to talk. But you aim inside your mind. You want to convert them. So you're
Yes.
taking the wrong position.
My guru, so there was a time where I used to bring people to the ashram, right? And my guru barred me, saying that you're not allowed to bring any more people to the ashram, because he's like, I want to honor my guru, and he was against proselytizing. He was very against it, and he wanted to honor his guru's wishes and that. And so he could sense at that time there was a intention of such, so he told me that I wasn't allowed to bring any more people to he said, you can give them the website, but you don't need to personally bring them here.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah. I guess I guess we could wrap up. If I were to ask you like last words, right? What are some things, like what would you say?
Well, I will say to all my brother and sisters, Sanatanis, Indians and non-Indians, that we should be united in diversity, because one of the great things of Sanatana Dharma is the broad diversity of sampradayas, concept of God, nirguna, saguna. Um, so we should respect our theological differences. We are not going to change that. There is a debate still going on between the Hindus and Buddhists for the last 1,000 years. Is there is a Ishvara or there is no Ishvara? So we are not going to have any agreement of that. So if you are Advaiting and I am Vishista Dvaita, we are not going to have an agreement. But at least let's cooperate. Let's work for the Sanatan Dharma. We have so many things in common. We believe in the need of a guru. We need in the Purna Jamma, in the reincarnation. We believe in the sanctity of the Vedas. We believe in karma. We have so many things in common. So let's cooperate. Let's work together. Let's put Sanatan Dharma in the place it deserves. Because if you talk with the Christian, the Muslim, at least until they have a lot of knowledge, for them, Sanatan Dharma is kind of superstitions, all very ancient things that they're not related to the nowadays world. So we should be proactive and share with the people, invite the people to our temples, to our communities, and always it is really important to keep aside those rituals who are not necessary, who are not part of the 21st century. Try to create a bridge between modernity and tradition and what we can offer to the society. Because if we remain ultra orthodox, if we don't admit our own kind and we try to make divisions, you are Gujarati, you are Tamil, you are Punjabi. No, we are all, those who are all Hindus, we are all Sanatanis. Everyone has their own guru, their own belief, but should be in the same boat. And this is what Krishna teaches in the Bhagavad Gita. There are many paths to reach him. You know.
Yeah. So would you like to bless like the audience like with some mantra or something as a closing tribute? You can chant some
Yeah, sure. I will chant the mantra from the Brihat Aranyaka Upanishad. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityumam Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Please lead me from illusion to reality. Please lead me from darkness into light. Please lead me from death to immortality. Peace, peace, peace.
Hari Om Shri Gurabhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Take care.
Om Tat Sat. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.